Hello friends, welcome to the Kumbi-Gikku Show on Gikkudiaries YouTube channel, where K. Srinath, the former Karnataka and Tamil Nadu Ranji Trophy player, currently the BCCI-panel umpire, and also the co-author of the book, The Handbook of Cricket Psychology, and I discuss the matches of the previous week. And today we are going to discuss from match number 39 of the previous Monday and until match number 46, that was RCB versus Delhi Capitals in Delhi last night, that is Sunday night. Sri, welcome back to the Kumbi-Gikku Show, Gikkudiaries. How have you been and how have you been watching the IPL in the last 1 week?
Thank you, Jikku. All well from my side. Hope the same with you. An interesting week that's gone by, and we are slowly heading towards the business end of this edition. And the spot for the playoffs is really heating up, and there are 5 to 6 teams that are in close race, and there are other 3 or 4 teams that are playing for the silverware in the bottom. So there are 2 sets that have been spread clearly. It's been an interesting week of IPL that has happened.
Mm-hmm. So when you look at the points table, the bottom placed teams like Chennai Super Kings, Sunrisers Hyderabad, and Rajasthan Royals, though Chennai Super Kings have not given up their 10th position, nothing seems to be going right for them. Sunrisers Hyderabad have gone just 1 place above, whereas RR have come down. But when you look at the top, there has been some very major changes, isn't it? With some important movements. Royal Challengers Bengaluru shooting up to number 1 after yesterday's victory, keeping their 100% success rate away from home. And they also managed to win at home finally after 3 home losses. Mumbai Indians, from where they started, from 9th in the table, gone up to 2nd for a brief while, or perhaps for just 1 match they held that number 2 position before now they are holding the 3rd position. So it's very interesting at the top, isn't it? It can still change in the coming days, isn't it? How do you look at the massive movements at the top?
Absolutely. As I told you last week, Jikku, the resurgence of the Mumbai Indians, because that's a unit, which knows what it takes to win. Because that's a side, a franchisee which has laid their hands on the cup 5 times. So it's like they know what it takes to be a winning unit. And of course, the form of Rohit Sharma has made a huge difference. And yes, in fact, we discussed, and last time I told you around that I would certainly be seeing Mumbai Indians get into the top 4 in the next week, which has happened, and which is no surprise to me. But really, it's been the way RCB has played a brand of cricket this year. Mm-hmm. I think it's been fabulous to watch, and looks like they have rediscovered their mojo. Virat firing at the top, and we are seeing Virat, of the old. The 2016 IPL where he amassed 900 odd runs. I think we are seeing Virat of the same. And the world knows what sort of a chase master he is. As you said, yes, they managed to, dissect the Chinnaswamy pitch with their first victory in the 4 games they played there. Right. And yes, of course, they've had a clean slate away from home. And yes, I was one who always believed that RCB had it in them to, lay their hands on this coveted trophy, which never happened in the last 17 years. I'm not a number man, honestly, but somewhere my gut says this year, season 18, jersey number 18 for Virat Kohli, the sort of form he's been in, and the way the other players have rallied around him, could this be the year for RCB? And I personally feel, though it's quite early to say, because 9 games down and still 4-5 games to play in the league stage for the teams to make it to the playoffs. But the sort of red hot form RCB are in, they are looking really invincible. If they can hold on to 1 more game out of the 3 home games, I think they are sure shot in the playoffs, and they would like to look at finishing in the top 2. Because even if you're going to lose the qualifier 1, you come back, have 1 more chance to play the qualifier 2, wherein you play against the winner of the eliminator to have 1 more shot at playing in the finals. So 18 and 18, it could be RCB. That's what my gut says. But still, yes, we are still about 2.5 weeks away. Early days still. But yes, RCB's had a phenomenal run, moving up the ladder, coming up to the first place. A minor shift and change. GT still holds on to the second place. DC have just moved down one slot down after the loss against RCB. But the top four really look solid, with MI moving up to the third place.
Can we expect this same top four teams make it to the playoffs? RCB, MI, DC, and GT, or you see some of the other teams like LSG, Lucknow Super Giants, don't write them off, though they have lost 5. They are still in contention. 5 wins from 10 matches, 4 more to go, and they still have those top three foreign players who can take the match away from any situation. Talking about Nicholas Puran, Mitchell Marsh, and Aiden Markram.
Gikku, I feel, honestly, my gut says that, MI and RCB look really strong to be there in the top 4. Yes, I think the bottom 4 is almost sealed. Mathematically, though, there is an opportunity for the likes of KKR or even SRH to still make it to the top 4. But the sort of cricket they are playing, it looks really tough for them from here on. So the bottom 4 could be, there's no chance from here on for CSK. RR from, real good positions to win, just lost it. Maybe you could say, they did allow South Africa when they play in those knockout games in the world events. I mean, they really choked at those important moments. Then I think even SRH or KKR, I think the washout, spreading points against Punjab Kings did a lot of damage to KKR for them to move up the ladder. I think the writing is on the wall more or less for these 4 teams. But still, you can't write off somebody like Punjab Kings or LSG. I think one of these 2 could be turning out to be the party spoilers. They could just gate crash and upset one of these top 4 teams. But on paper today, the sort of cricket that has been played, I feel it's going to be RCB, GT, MI, and DC. On form, on paper, the way they've played so far till this week. But both LSG and KKR or the other sides, Punjab Kings especially. So they can still stage a comeback. But yes, the money for me is on these 4 teams to make it to the top 4.
And what we saw in the last week among the matches was the results, where teams went on to avenge the earlier round results, isn't it? And the best of them being Sunday doubleheader, Mumbai Indians first losing in Lucknow to Lucknow Super Giants and repaying it with whatever you can say with interest. And the same RCB went on to win in Delhi Capitals Den, Arun Jaitley Stadium, after KL Rahul made a statement in Chinnaswamy Stadium with that 93 not out, and Virat Kohli gave a fitting reply along with that partnership with Krunal Pandya. How crucial was Krunal Pandya's knock, and how he has been somebody who has not been talked much about, but his utility is something immense, isn't it?
I think he's been somebody, who's always been spoken about as an all-rounder. But when he was even with Mumbai Indians, he didn't get that much an opportunity to, showcase his ability with the bat. So his bowling was always something that was always there at the back of the mind for everybody. He's been a quiet performer for RCB with the ball this year because the spin options have been very less. It's been the frontline spinner has been Krunal Pandya, whereas Suyash Sharma has always been the impact player who's come in and bowled his tidy leg breaks. But this game, really we could see the other side of Krunal Pandya. It was a brilliant knock under pressure. After having lost 4 wickets, it was very important, not a very easy wicket to bat on. He forged a brilliant partnership with Virat Kohli, and we saw the quality batsmanship that came to the forefront. It's not all about slam bang cricket. It's not all about the boundary hitting or the 6 hitting in T20 cricket. We saw the strike rotation, the minimal number of dot balls, the way Virat Kohli ran those singles, rotated the strike, gave it to Krunal Pandya when he was able to hit the long balls. I think it showed classic, cricket batting. So we witnessed some, real classic batting during this IPL, and also some real slam bang cricket also. I think this knock of Krunal Pandya would do him a lot of confidence. And yes, because Liam Livingstone is not somebody who's lived up to his reputation of being the big hitter. Tim David has done well, but I think for Krunal Pandya to come run into form with the bat is a great sign for RCB. It was a fabulous knock and forging a brilliant partnership with Virat Kohli. I think that partnership was the key for RCB to forge, as you said, avenge the loss against DC in Bengaluru. They pulled it off. No sweeter, memories to cherish for Virat, the local Delhi boy. And also a small meme when we saw, Virat go and do the similar thing what KL did in Bangalore, saying this is my ground. But it was all in jest. It was well taken, but overall it was a fantastic run chase, and hats off to the way Virat and Krunal Pandya pulled it off.
Yeah, like you mentioned, it's not all about slam bang. And we saw only 4 boundaries with 4 fours, because boundaries could also mean 6, isn't it, as per the laws of cricket. So 4 fours in Virat Kohli's knock of 51, which means only 16 runs off the boundaries. And he ran 35 runs of his, and also not just 35 runs for him alone, but also his partners. So that shows the value of running between wickets. And he also spoke in the post-match about how it's not just about, like you said, the slam bang, but also understanding the pitch, realizing what the required run rate is and playing accordingly and taking it deep. Yesterday's Kohli's knock was, among other things, the perfect example of how to go about chasing successfully, isn't it? And which he seems to be doing very often.
Yeah, I mean, I just did read the other day, one of our former Indian cricketers said that was it too early for Virat Kohli to call it quits from international cricket in T20? Well, it was a personal decision and we need to respect that. But in white ball cricket, it could be 50 overs or T20 cricket. I think Virat knows the formula and he's really just cracked it to the hilt. At the top, we have seen Rohit Sharma do that very successfully. But the number of runs Virat has scored in successful run chases have been phenomenal. Because once upon a time, maybe a decade and a half ago, we always used to discuss about Michael Bevan. He was a chase master. He knew how to, build chases. But Virat has just gone a few notches up. And it was classic batting. And for any youngster who wants to take up to the game, when people discuss about rotation of strike, running those singles hard, and getting the other batter who's in form, who can hit the long ball on strike. I think these are all real, things that people could get to watch. I mean, Virat in flow, his subtle striking of boundaries or his running between the wickets, it's just a treat to watch. I think overall, this was one of the finest knocks we saw in this edition of the IPL, though it wasn't a coveted or a magical 3-figure knock, but on a tough wicket, in a real tough situation. I think they say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. I think this was a classical example.
And also, one of the other factors for RCB doing well is Josh Hazlewood and him not just containing runs, but also taking crucial wickets at the top and also in the end. And he's, not surprisingly, the purple cap holder with 18 wickets so far in 10 matches. And he's only going to get stronger and stronger from now on. Because the matches and the importance of the matches and winning for RCB are such that he is going to get better and better, isn't it?
I mean, how much of a difference do you see in Josh Hazlewood's bowling when he operates with the red ball in Test match cricket and when he's bowling with the white ball in T20 cricket? There is not much difference in the way he operates. His line and length is more of the so-called Test match length. Mm-hmm. It's more about the accuracy, the bounce, the seam movement he generates. And yes, of course, he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. He's got a slow ball, a Yorker, the old-fashioned one in his repertoire. But, somebody very similar to him is Mohammad Shami, who bowls those real test match lengths. So there's no substitute for, classic bowling or classic batting in any format. That is what Virat Kohli displayed with the bat. And Josh Hazlewood has been able to do repeatedly with the ball. I mean, this is something for a lot of youngsters, especially the Indian speedsters, to learn. Because always trying to think out of the box, trying to be in the process of trying to outthink or outfox what the batter wants to do. I think most of the times what is happening with the faster bowlers is they're trying to outsmart the batters and trying to stay far too ahead of the game. What I've been seeing with Josh Hazlewood is he's typically staying in the present. Taking it ball by ball is what a cricketer requires. It could be a batter or a bowler, which he's been able to execute phenomenally. So I think his exhibition of bowling so far in this IPL is really a big takeaway for a lot of youngsters to follow. So those real good test match lengths to bowl with subtle variations, the old-fashioned Yorkers, no wonder the well-deserved purple cap holder is dislodged Prasidh Krishna, and he's now the purple cap holder. Certainly, it's a fitting one for Josh Hazlewood.
Like Virat Kohli is the prime example, or how he shows that test match style of batting can win you in T20s. Josh Hazlewood is the bowling answer to Virat Kohli's test match style of playing, isn't it? Test match, like you said, test match length, line, and still be among wickets, contain, and also have a few tricks up the sleeve.
True. I mean, a couple of bowlers I can also, equate as one has been Mitchell Starc, trying to get swing up front with the speed and bowl those Yorkers, which he did extremely well against Rajasthan Royals. And also a real revelation has been Prasidh Krishna. He's hit those magical lengths. And, he in fact was very frank after the first game. He said that he was just missing the length by a meter, which really worked on with the support staff. And he really had a lot of good words for Ashish Nehra. He said that the backroom staff has been working really well with me, and I've been able to find my mojo. So I think there's no substitute for getting your basic skills right there. So Mohammad Siraj has been another one. So it's all about those bowlers who've been able to, repeat their skills on a regular basis consistently, put that to proper execution, have been more successful, rather than people who've been trying up too many things like, trying to bowl those slow balls, slow bounces, bowling into the pitch. I think these are the bowlers who've been going for more than 10 plus. So classic example has been Mohammad Siraj, Prasidh Krishna, Josh Hazlewood, Mitchell Starc. I mean, these guys have been standout in this 18th edition of the IPL. I think still there's time for a lot of the faster bowlers to, pick up these things from these four fast bowlers who've done extremely well so far.
And one classic test match dismissal we saw was Mohammad Shami removing the Chennai Super Kings opener, Sheikh Rashid, of the very first ball, edging to the slip fielder Abhishek Sharma. I'm sure you have seen that, and those kind of wickets give the watchers a lot of joy, isn't it? I still love the ball beating the bat, taking the outside edge, going into the keeper's hand, gloves, or the slip fielders. And there was Abhishek Sharma waiting for the catch, and it came off the very first ball of the innings.
Absolutely. Even some of the spinners who bowled when they bowled slow in the air, it could be Kuldeep Yadav, it could be Akshar Patel, it could be Noor Ahmed. We talk about Digvesh, we talk about Suyash Sharma. So we've seen those guys who bowl those classical slow deliveries. Already we've discussed about the sizes of the ground, especially in Mullanpur, in Ahmedabad, in Eden Gardens, where the ground sizes are big. And we've repeatedly seen batters who've been beaten in flight and, getting caught in the deep. So that means the skill is what is important. Of course, you've got the skill, you can't execute it, you still are in trouble. So these are all, classic stuff you are expected to do. So it's just not, we have the one-off mystery bowlers like a Varun Chakravarti or a Sunil Narayan who have been successful over a period of time. But you can't expect everybody to be the same. So there is a huge scope for people who still are in the classical mode, which we've been seeing in the past couple of weeks. And as time progresses, when the wickets are going to get that much tougher, you will certainly see those guys with real technical skills certainly come on top.
And we still haven't got more than those 300s in this IPL, and that was quite a long time ago, isn't it? What could be the reasons? And there have been some batsmen who came so close, like Prabhsimran Singh the other day, or even Shubman Gill for GT the other day, getting into the 90s, but missing that three-figure mark. What could be the reason?
A couple of reasons I fathom, Gikku, is one is maybe batters are trying to go too hard at the top. especially the opening batters of most of the sides, barring CSK and RR, their openers have not fired at all. So the rest of them are really going hard at it. Many a times they're getting close to 60, 70 without loss in the first 6 overs, and they're trying to continue in the same flow. Because once the ball gets slightly older, the pitch gets slightly slower, the flow of batting cannot be the same. So you need to reassess the situation, readjust your technique, your style of play, which somebody like Virat has been able to do so successfully. Maybe that's one of the reasons, why we've not seen those hundreds. The second reason could be the quality of bowling. The bowlers also have, cracked the formula, trying to figure out where they need to bowl to these batters, try to keep them off strike. And most of the wrist spinners especially, they have been more attacking rather than being defensive. That also has added, value to their bowling. So these couple of reasons, and also the pitches, some of them have been a little bit tough to bat on, unlike the few we've seen in Hyderabad at SRH home venue. But rest of it, they've not been real belters. Maybe a couple of pitches we saw in Eden. But otherwise, we've seen less scores of 200 plus made in the last week. And moving forward, I think it's going to be tougher for the curators to get in very good batting pitches wherein we could see in excess of 200, because we are approaching the peak summer now. May is going to get really hot, and to get in good batting pitches are going to be really tough, and to maintain that moisture. So it's going to be tough batting conditions moving forward. But yes, to me, yes, it's surprising that we've not seen anything beyond 300s being made so far, because there are batters of immense ability. People who can really go on to make those big scores. That's really been a surprising factor so far.
And another reason I could that crossed my mind while you were giving your insights was Josh Butler sacrificing his 3-figure mark for Rahul Tewatia to just go after the bowling, finish off winning the match, then himself getting to the 3-figure mark. And we saw that Shreyas Iyer also do that in an earlier game for Punjab Kings, 97 not out, and Josh Butler just one strike away, but still. So this also talks a lot about putting team before self, and that is what cricket and winning matches is all about, isn't it? It's been there for so long, and it still continues to be that.
Absolutely, I think personal milestones are something not too many of these cricketers will reflect upon. Once they hang up their boots, they can get back and look at their numbers and statistics. End of the day, a match-winning 97, is what is more valuable for the team rather than get 100 not out and end up on a losing side. I think these two selfless acts were classic examples of, putting team ahead of self. What Shreyas Iyer did the other day, because Shreyas had a much better chance of getting 100, than Josh Butler. But I think especially being a leader, and, he put his team ahead and he led by example. I think these two knocks have been really selfless, and we certainly would be expecting to get to see more knocks like this. People putting the team ahead of them. Otherwise, this is not an individual sport like tennis or badminton wherein, success and failure is just going to be with you. Because one good performance is not going to take the team forward. There are 10 more players around you who are going to rally around and, get the best out of them. So I think these two knocks have been selfless, and we certainly would get to see more of these in the coming weeks.
And another example was yesterday in Mumbai Indians versus Lucknow Super Giants, where Will Jacks, though his contributions may not have been as much in terms of number, he didn't score a 50 like Surya or Ryan Rickleton did, nor did he take a 3-wicket haul or a 4-wicket haul like Trent Bolt or Bumrah did. But his useful contributions, 29 at number 3, the important partnership with Rickleton for the 2nd wicket, and 2 quick wickets, that of Nicholas Puran and Rishabh Pant. And he ended up as the man of the match award winner. So it's not just the numbers, but also your contribution at crucial moments that matters, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always not the guy who gets a 4-4, 5-4, or somebody who gets a 80 or 90. It's those, important moments a player has in the game. Like you mentioned, 29 and 2 wickets. I think those were impactful, 2 moments in the game. And to be honest, in this IPL, we've seen a lot of players get man of the match awards for such performances. That's really been wonderful this year. The decision makers, it could be the people sitting in the comms who decide on this, have been, really applying their mind And we have not seen typically, it's those batters who hog the limelight and they get the POTMs, the Player of the Match awards. But this year we've seen a lot of bowlers coming to the party and all-rounders, with subtle contributions like Rickleton in the last game. I think that augurs really well, and that's really a pat on the back and the impetus that has been provided at the right time. So it's generally not about those big numbers that make a difference, but those small contributions which have a huge impact on the game.
And we also saw one Man of the Match award going to Tim David, though he ended up on the losing side, but he gave that team some total to play with. How do you look at? Yeah, go ahead.
It's a very rare thing wherein you see a player from a losing side get a Man of the Match award. But that was a highly impactful innings, as you said. Not very good conditions, but he really brought RCB in the game. But for his knock, I think RCB would have ended up losing the game, on a canter. So it was a very good decision to award the Player of the Match award to him. Yes, not many times do we see a player on the losing side end up on the podium getting the medal.
Looking ahead this week, you still say going to be crucial for the teams, especially in those lying in the middle, the Punjab Kings, KKR and LSG.
Yeah, I think it's big time catch-up work for them. They need to really pull up the socks and get their act together. It's a time, especially for KKR, for their top to fire, because their opening has been quite abysmal. They've just not got their act together. Sunil Narayan is just not come off at the top. They've tried Gurbaz in the last couple of games. He also has not come up with anything big. So how do they sort out their opening combination is something big. And yes, again, I repeat, in the middle and lower order, the form of Rinku Singh and Preras, I think that's a big worry for KKR. I think these are two areas where they need to look at. And for LSG, I think it's the form of the captain which is worrying them big time. I think Rishabh Pant's contribution, not only with the bat, also he's looked very pedestrian with his captaincy also. He's not made those right changes on the field of play, and him coming into bat in the last over in one of the games, I think it left the whole scene in very poor light. Yes, still I think one team that possibly can have the foot in the top four, dismantling either MI or GT or DC, could be Punjab Kings. Even for them, the major worry has been Maxwell, persisting with him on a regular basis because they have an Australian coach with them who feels that it's just one hit away for Maxi to come good. But yes, he can be a dangerous player, but so far he's just not showed any glimpse of that sort of firepower he possesses. He's just not come on the scene at all. But yes, they have looked a bit flat of late. But again, one game away for Kings 11. Yes, Kings 11 LSG, strong contenders to get into the top four. But I think GT, Delhi Capitals, MI and RCB, I still feel these four could be changed 1, 2, 3, 4, the order, but they still would remain in the top four by the end of this week. That's what is my feeling.
One thing that could work in LSG's favor is they have 6 clear non-match days after yesterday's game against Mumbai Indians and their next game, which is against Punjab Kings in Dharamsala. So, what can this 6 days, what can this break do to them? Yesterday, Zahir Khan, their mentor, told the press post-match that it could just be think anything but cricket. Don't think cricket. Come back fresh.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword, Gikku, because it could go either way. One, you could get rejuvenated, take a break, just slip off for a small holiday and get back with all your batteries charged up to play. The other side of it, what are you going to do with your cricketing skills? How are you going to work on that? And mentally, in what frame are they? That's what is going to be very, very important. So a break could go either way. They could just lose their way very badly, or they could come back very strongly. I don't think there's any midway path to tread in this. Either one, they come back, really charged up and come out all cylinders firing, or they could just fall flat. I think it could just be one of the two things to happen. for the top four race to heat up. I think if they come back strongly and put up a good show and are able to beat Punjab Kings in Dharamshala, I think that could really heat up the race to the top four. So 6 days off, as I said, double-edged sword. Hope for the best.
And they can certainly be party poopers. You never know. Sri, we have been talking about the batting and bowling efforts. One particular fielding effort that you can think of, offhand, that comes to mind quickly.
I think the catch of Brevis in the CSK SRH game.
Yes.
I think that was outstanding.
That has to be the catch of IPL 2025. You need to take a much better catch than that. The ball was traveling so fast, diving both hands, importantly both hands, not just one hand. It was not a freak catch. It was very well judged, well timed. Kamindu Mendes, that has to be the catch of IPL 2025. Full stop.
I mean, see, under lights, which is artificial, which is not natural for humans to pick up balls, and in backgrounds wherein there are lights, people dressed up colorfully, it's very difficult to pick up those flat catches. And as you said, it was just not freak. He moved well, there was agility, and he took the catch with both hands. I mean, he was nothing short of a Superman.
Yes.
I think if I can recollect, having officiated, stood there have been a lot of catches that have been taken on the line, some blinders by wicket keepers, some smart catches in the infield, outfield, everything. But I think 18 years of IPL, this is just a standout. I mean, there's no words to describe, and even the people who were in the comm box at that point in time, I think they had nothing else to discuss. I think at least for 10 good minutes, and a lot of heartbeats stopped really. Absolute blinder it was. Absolute blinder, you can say.
On that note, we conclude this episode of the Kumbi-Gikku Show. See you again next week. Thank you, Sri, and have a good week ahead.
Thanks, Chico. Same to you. Let's hope for some exciting cricket in the forthcoming week.
And if anybody can better the Kamindu Mendes catch, good luck with him.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Thank you. Bye-bye.